Bringing Louisiana irises into the landscape is a wonderful thing to do because they're just absolutely gorgeous. And you know, it's our native wildflower of Louisiana as well. So a lot of people really want to keep these in the garden. You can grow them in an aquatic situation in just a couple of inches of water in a container. You can grow them along a pond bank, but you can also grow them in a regular garden bed, and it doesn't always have to stay wet. If it's in a drier location, that's fine. You'll just need to water them more, especially in the summer. Irises have a little bit of a different growth habit that you want to keep in mind. They're actually going to be actively growing from October or November all the way through April or May. Then as June, July come along and it starts to get a little bit hotter, they're going to start to go into dormancy. So when they go dormant, that's the best time to divide them. And what you're going to want to do is dig up the entire clump and separate them. And the most important part is to keep the new growth of the rhizome, the newer, smaller rhizome that is going to be branching off of an older rhizome. Those are the ones where your blooms are going to occur the following year. So a lot of times you can dig everything up, you can discard the old rhizomes and replant the new rhizomes. Just keep in mind that irises tend to creep over time, so whichever direction that growing point is on that new rhizome is the direction that the clump is going to kind of grow in. So that's why I like to put at least about 2 feet in between my clumps if I can, just to give them a few years of growth before they start touching each other and it gets confusing on some of the varieties that start to mix. So when planting Louisiana irises, one of the things that you want to keep in mind is to not plant them too deep. That rhizome, or that root part, needs to be only about an inch below the soil surface. And when planting them, you also want to keep in mind that organic matter is really important. So if you're on a heavier clay soil with organic matter where these irises would naturally grow, it's fine. But if you're on a sandier soil, you might need to add a lot more organic matter. Now, irises prefer a pH of about 6.5 of the soil, but they're pretty adaptable even to slightly alkaline conditions. So when you do transplant them and you replant them back in the garden, as they start growing again in October or November, that's when you'd want to apply a fertilizer. And just a general multi-purpose fertilizer like 888 will work just fine as a granular form. Remember not to use a slow release or time release fertilizer because you're actually fertilizing in the winter. But all that beautiful green foliage is going to come up, and it's going to be really striking in the landscape when so many other things are dormant. You can hit them again with a little bit more fertilizer in February and get them really boosted before the bloom. And then again, the cycle starts all over, let them die back down, clean off the foliage in the summer. There's so many reasons to love Louisiana iris in your garden, but one of the ones that people may not think about immediately is that they're a great pollinator plant. And the iris has really developed to work in conjunction with the pollinators. So when you look at the different parts of the iris flower, they're really made to attract insects. So this area right here is called the drop. It's actually a sepal, but this signal part right here, this yellow part, actually works to draw in pollinators. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about real quickly are weeds in irises. So right now we've got a little bit of weeds that are growing around here because they can be a little bit difficult to maintain. So one thing you can do is add a little bit more mulch than we have right here, but no more than probably about 2 or 3 inches. And you can use whatever mulch you'd like pine straw works really well. The other thing you can do is actually use Snapshot pre-emergent herbicide to help control the weeds that are going to grow up in here. It's labeled for irises, it's been tested by the LSU AgCenter as safe, so it's going to go out as a granular, and what you'll want to do is just make sure that you wash any of it off the foliage after it's been applied, and then water it in really well to incorporate it into the soil surface.